It's not what happens to you that harms you. It's what you add to it. The story, the meaning, the judgment. Epictetus said it plainly, and most men miss it because the world trains you to react first, to speak first, to prove yourself first. Ever feel your mind running a marathon at night? Or your mouth moving before your brain catches up? Or your attention drifting to everything except what actually builds your life? That's not a personality flaw. That's conditioning. We live inside an attention war. Noise everywhere, opinions everywhere, hot takes everywhere, and the loudest voice often wins the moment, even when it's wrong. Quick reactions are mistaken for intelligence. Over-explaining is mistaken for confidence. Constant thinking is mistaken for depth. But most men aren't getting stronger. They're getting scattered, burned out, irritable, mentally fatigued. They can work all day and still feel behind. They can talk for hours and still feel unheard. They can think nonstop and still feel lost. The Stoics saw this long before social media. They understood real power is not loud. It's controlled. Real strength is not doing more. It's doing better, not shouting louder, knowing when silence is the sharpest weapon, not thinking endlessly, steering thought like a rider steers a horse. In this video, you'll learn a Stoic way to think less, talk less, and focus more. Not to become cold, to become clear. You'll learn how to observe your thoughts without obeying them. How to create distance from the inner voice that tries to sabotage you. How to train your mind so it works for you, not against you. How to speak less and carry more presence. How to stop wasting energy on what you can't control. And how to return to yourself in a noisy world. If you felt pulled under by distractions, you're not alone. This isn't about willpower. It's about structure. It's about practice. And today can be the beginning of your return. Stay with me. Because when you think less, talk less, and focus more, the world stops renting space in your head. You stop being managed by impulses. You become the one who decides. If this already hits home, subscribe and hit the bell. Not for entertainment, for training. Because what we're building here is quiet strength that lasts. Thoughts aren't facts. Learn to observe without reacting. A single thought can ruin an entire day. Not because it's true, because you believed it without questioning it. It starts small, a whisper, a line, a sting. I'm not good enough. I'll mess this up. They're judging me. And suddenly, you don't just have a thought. You have a mood. Then a mood becomes a tone. Then the tone becomes how you speak, how you work, how you drive, how you treat people. One thought becomes a whole identity for 24 hours. The Stoics called this mental slavery, not slavery to events, slavery to interpretation. Epictetus taught this principle because it's the center of freedom. It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Read that again slowly. The event is neutral. Your judgment is the fire. That's why two men can face the same situation, and one stays calm while the other collapses. Same event, different judgment. So the question becomes simple and brutal. Are you living by reality or by your untrained mind? Here's the metaphor that makes it clear. Imagine your mind as a train station. Thoughts are trains. They arrive. They depart. Regret train, anger train, fear train, fantasy train. And most people board every single one. They don't pause. They don't ask where it's going. They just jump on and let it drag them through the day. But you don't have to. You can stay on the platform. You can watch the train roll by. You can feel the urge to board it and still choose not to. That pause is where strength begins. Not strength of muscles, strength of command. Because your thoughts are not orders, they're suggestions. And the man who learns to treat thoughts like suggestions becomes dangerous in the best way. Here's the Stoic drill. 3 steps. Simple, daily. Step 1. Notice the thought. Don't wrestle it, just notice it. Step 2. Name it honestly. This is fear. This is ego. This is old regret. Step 3. Choose one action inside your control, one small action, one clean action. That's it. The point isn't to stop thinking. The point is to stop obeying every thought that appears. You don't need to win every mental argument. You just need to stop getting dragged into them. And when you do that, something changes. The thought loses oxygen. The emotion settles. The body relaxes. The mind clears. That's not spirituality. That's training. And it's the sharpest tool against inner chaos. Create distance from your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Let me make this real. I once spoke late at night with a man I respected, a team leader, competent, calm, reliable. Everyone assumed he had no fear, but he told me a truth most men hide. Every morning he woke up already tense, not from deadlines, from his own inner voice. You're behind. You're failing. You're not doing enough. For years, he treated those thoughts like verdicts, like reality. So he lived defensively. He overworked, over-explained, overthought. Then one day he read Marcus Aurelius, and something clicked. He learned a shift so small it sounds stupid until you try it. Instead of saying, "I'm screwing up," he said, "I'm having the thought that I'm screwing up." That one sentence created distance, and distance creates choice. Now it wasn't identity, it was an event, a cloud drifting past, smoke in the air, and smoke clears when you stop feeding fire. This isn't about denial. It's not positive thinking. That's not Stoicism. Stoicism is realism with discipline. It's admitting the mind produces thoughts automatically. Some are useful, many are junk, old fears, borrowed beliefs, unprocessed memories. The mind is a machine. It creates content. Your job is to curate. And here's the key. You are not the content. You are the awareness watching it. You are the space where it appears. So what do you do in real life? When a thought hits and it stings, you practice the gap. You don't react. You don't push it away. You don't cling to it. You observe it like a guard observes a gate. Then you test it with 3 questions. Is it true? Is it useful? Is it aligned with virtue? If not, release it calmly. Not with anger, not with force, with precision, like setting down a rock you never needed to carry. This is how you build inner space. And inside that space, you find something no thought can fake. Clarity, composure, quiet confidence. Not because life gets easier, because you stop making it heavier in your own mind. Tame your mind. The unguided mind is like a runaway horse. The Stoics didn't want men to become emotionless. They wanted men to become guided. Because an unguided mind is a runaway horse. It drags you into arguments you regret, into decisions you undo, into habits that slowly weaken you. But a trained mind becomes an ally. It doesn't remove storms. It gives you a compass inside them. Think of your mind as a garden. If you don't tend it, weeds grow. Worry weeds, comparison weeds, resentment weeds. And weeds grow fast when you're distracted. But when you practice awareness, you become the gardener. You pull what poisons you. You plant what strengthens you. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. One clean moment at a time. Here's a simple daily routine Stoics would respect. Morning, 2 minutes. Sit still, breathe slowly, ask one question, what is mine to control today? Then choose one action that answers it. Not 10 actions. One, because focus is strength. I knew a man who woke up anxious every single morning. His mind sprinted into worst-case scenarios before his feet hit the floor. He imagined conversations that never happened. He replayed mistakes from years ago. Morning wasn't a beginning. It was a continuation of yesterday's noise. So he started small. 5 minutes. Silence. Not forcing peace. Observing the mind like watching weather. Some mornings were heavy, some were calm, but he returned day after day, and slowly the mind changed. Not by magic, by repetition. Thoughts didn't vanish. They lost authority. He could see them without becoming them. He could feel anxiety without letting it steer. That is discipline, and discipline is freedom. So the next time your inner voice says, "You can't," "You're not enough," "It's too late," pause. Breathe, stay on the platform. Don't board that train, because thoughts don't define you. Your response does. That is real strength. Quiet, internal, unshakable. The power of saying less. Stronger souls need less justification. Marcus Aurelius wrote for himself, not for applause. The stronger the soul, the less it needs to justify itself. Some silences make people nervous. Other silences make people listen. In a world where fast talking is confused with competence, saying less is an act of defiance. Not against people, against ego. Because ego loves noise. It wants the last word. It wants to clap back. It wants to prove you're right, you're smart, you're winning. But Stoicism asks a different question. Are you free if you need to respond to everything? Or are you chained to impulses with a microphone? I've seen this in meetings. There was a man almost everyone noticed. Not because he dominated, because he didn't. He listened. He watched. He spoke rarely. But when he did, his words landed like a hammer. Not because he was loud, because he was deliberate. He didn't waste syllables on explanations that didn't matter. He didn't argue to protect the ego. He spoke only when it was useful, only when it was true, only when it aligned with who he wanted to be. That made him rare, and rarity commands attention. The Stoics understood words have weight. Every sentence costs energy. Every unnecessary explanation leaks focus. Every defensive response hands your power to someone else. So the wise man treats words like currency. He spends them with intention. He doesn't go broke trying to impress strangers. He saves his voice for moments that matter. This is not fear. This is control. Saying less creates space. Space to think. Space to listen. Space to choose. Silence buys time. Time buys perspective. Perspective buys power. And silence never regrets. Now listen closely. This is the test. Next time you feel the urge to fire back, pause. Breathe once. Ask 3 questions. Is it necessary? Is it useful? Is it true to my character? If the answer is no, keep your words, because sometimes the greatest strength is saying nothing. And in that quiet space, you don't shrink, you grow. If this hits home, drop 1 word below. The thing you're choosing to say less about. Your comment might help another man find his footing. Consider this. Every word you speak is energy leaving your body. Every unnecessary defense drains your reservoir. But when you choose silence, you conserve power. You become steady, and steady men are hard to move. Imagine a man getting criticized at work. His instinct is immediate. Explain, justify, defend. But what if he didn't? What if he listened fully, took the useful part, discarded the rest, and moved forward without drama? That's not weakness, that's mastery. Stoicism isn't quiet because it's timid. It's quiet because it's precise. So save your words for truth, for leadership, for moments where your voice can actually change something. The rest, let it pass. Your silence will speak louder than any explanation. Control what you can control. The Stoic split. Because silence is step 1. Control is step 2. And the Stoics drew a line that most men forget, between what is yours and what never was. There are moments when the world feels, and this is where everything comes together, not as an idea, not as motivation, but as a way of living. Thinking less is not about ignorance, it's about clarity. It's choosing not to rehearse every possible disaster inside your head. It's refusing to let untrained thoughts dictate your mood. Talking less is not about silence for silence's sake. It's about restraint. It's about knowing that your worth doesn't rise or fall with every explanation you offer the world. And focusing more is not about obsession. It's about direction. It's about placing your energy where it can actually grow. The Stoics never promised a painless life. They promised a life with less confusion, less inner conflict, less wasted effort, and more command over yourself. Because when you master your thoughts, your words, and your focus, you stop leaking power in 1,000 small ways. You stop arguing with people who don't matter. You stop chasing approval that never satisfies. You stop replaying moments that are already gone, and slowly something changes. Your presence deepens. Your decisions simplify. Your emotions settle. Not because life is easy, but because you are grounded. This is what real strength looks like. Not loud, not flashy, not desperate to be seen, but steady, consistent, unmoved by noise. You don't need to announce it. People feel it in how you listen, in how you pause before you speak, in how you move forward without explaining yourself. This is the strength the Stoics train for, a strength that survives loss, a strength that doesn't panic when plans collapse, a strength that remains intact even when no one is watching. And this strength is not reserved for philosophers or ancient emperors. It's built in ordinary moments. When you choose silence instead of reaction, when you choose discipline instead of comfort, when you choose focus instead of distraction, again and again and again. That's how character is formed. Not in speeches, in habits. So as you leave this video, don't try to change everything. Change one response, one thought you don't obey, one sentence you don't say, one action you take with full attention. That's enough. Because strength compounds, quietly, relentlessly, and over time, it becomes unmistakable. If this way of thinking speaks to you, you already know why. You're not here for noise. You're here for mastery. So subscribe if you want to keep training. Share this with someone who needs less chaos and more control. And leave a comment below. Not a long one, just one word. The thing you're choosing to release. Because when men learn to think less, talk less, and focus more, they stop being pushed by the world. They start moving it, quietly, deliberately, on their own terms, like it's gunning for you. Everything breaks at once. Plans fall apart. People let you down. Opportunities vanish. The past stings, and the future looms heavy. In that chaos, one question cuts through. What now? Most people scramble for someone to blame. Others shut down. They freeze. They drift. They disappear inside themselves. But there is a kind of man who chooses differently. He turns inward because he understands one brutal truth. The only power that cannot be stolen is the power to choose how you respond. You can't choose the hand life deals you, but you can choose how you play it. Epictetus called it the split. What's in your control and what isn't? Simple to understand, brutal to live, because it places the weight of your mind back where it belongs, on you, not what happens, but what you allow to happen inside you. You can't stop people from disappointing you, but you can refuse to let disappointment eat you alive. You can't rewrite the past, but you can refuse to let it become your identity. And the moment you stop wrestling with what you can't change and grab the wheel of what you can, you start taking back power. Picture a ship on open water. The captain doesn't control the wind or the waves, but he controls the rudder, the sails, the decision to keep moving forward. A stoic man lives like that captain. He doesn't pretend the storm isn't there. He doesn't cope with wishful thinking. He asks one question: where do I have leverage? And from there, he moves. He decides, he builds, he adapts. This principle isn't theory, it's daily survival. So when something goes wrong, ask the better question. Not why did this happen, but what is mine to do? Because the answer always exists. Your response, your attitude, your next action, your character, these are yours. Even when it's unfair, even when it's messy, even when it hurts. Here's a practice. 10 seconds. 3 steps. Step 1, name the situation. Don't decorate it, just name it. Step 2, ask the split question. Is this in my control? Step 3, choose the next move. If no, release it cleanly. If yes, act immediately. One small action, one honest action. That is leverage. That is control. That is power. And when you live this way, everything changes. Not because the storm changes, because you do. You become steadier, more resilient, more capable. A man who doesn't panic when life shakes. A man who stays rooted when everything moves. I once talked to a man who lost his business after 20 years. He told me the hardest part wasn't money. It was the feeling of being powerless, watching his identity crumble with each unpaid bill. For months, he lived in anger, pointing fingers, replaying regrets, drowning in what he couldn't fix. Then one day he stopped. He grabbed a notebook and made 2 columns. Left side, what I can't control. Right side, what I can. My routine, my mindset, my discipline, my willingness to start again. And something shifted. He didn't just rebuild income. He rebuilt inner peace. Because clarity gives strength, and focus makes you untouchable. Marcus Aurelius knew this too. An emperor could command armies. He still couldn't command fate. So he trained the only empire that mattered most, his inner one. No whining, no collapsing, no begging life to be different. Just steady action from a steady core. Controlling what you can doesn't mean making life perfect. It means taking the helm no matter the storm. It means deciding what stays solid inside you. Your calm, your purpose, your deliberate action. So if you ever feel like you've lost your way, stop, breathe once, look hard at what you're trying to control, release what isn't yours, then pour your energy into what you can move, no matter how small, because when you choose with clarity where to place your strength, every action becomes cleaner, sturdier, yours. And that's what keeps a man from breaking when the world falls apart. Not luck, not comfort, but the relentless choice to return to what matters. And once you learn this, you're ready for the next battle, the battle of attention. Focus on what makes you grow. Stop replaying the past. Maybe you've been there, A conversation ends, but it keeps living in your head for days. A mistake from months ago still wakes you at night. Someone hurt you, and even though they're gone, the wound still feels fresh. Not because it's happening now, because you keep feeding it. Your mind is fertile soil. It grows whatever you plant in it. Plant resentment, and you harvest bitterness. Plant guilt, and you harvest shame. Plant regret, and you harvest heaviness. The problem isn't remembering. The problem is looping. Replaying the same moment like a broken record that never teaches a new lesson. And looping feels addictive because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. That's the trap. Known suffering, unknown freedom. Many men choose the known suffering without realizing it. They turn the mind into a prison. And the worst part is the door is unlocked. You're holding the key. So here's the Stoic move. When the mind pulls you back, you don't fight it. You don't chase it either. You label it. This is a loop. Then you redirect to the present with one concrete action. One push-up, one paragraph read, one task completed, one honest message sent, one small step that proves to your mind you are not stuck. Because growth isn't born from rumination. Growth is born from motion. Marcus Aurelius wrote in the middle of war, betrayal, and illness that the soul grows stronger by focusing on what is essential, what life demands today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Today. The present is flawed, but it is the only place where action exists. Your attention is the bridge between who you are and who you can become. Every time you catch your mind wandering and bring it back to now, you flex an invisible muscle, self-discipline, and it gets stronger the same way everything else does. Repetition. I saw a comment once under a Stoic video. Every time I move forward, my mind drags me back to the same memory. I understood that. We all do. So don't run from it. Acknowledge it. Take the lesson. Then close the book for today, even if it's only for 1 hour. Give your energy to something that builds you, because the past cannot take your future unless you keep paying it with attention. You can't control every thought that appears, but you can control which thoughts you feed, and what you feed grows. So when your mind tries to drag you into chaos, breathe, acknowledge return, again and again. That is how men become unshakable. Quietly, accept what is, drop the weight of resistance. Marcus Aurelius said it best. If you're pained by something external, the pain isn't in the thing. It's in your perception of it, and you can change that. Most men don't break from the load. They break from fighting reality. They want life to be different. They want people to never disappoint. They want the past to stop hurting. They want plans to go exactly right. But life doesn't negotiate, and the more you fight what already happened, the more you bleed energy. Because it's not the weight that crushes you, it's the resistance you add to it. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's not surrender. It's strategy. It is looking directly at the loss, the mistake, the betrayal, and deciding it will not own you. Not because it was okay, because you refuse to build your identity on what went wrong. As long as you keep wishing reality was different, you live chained to a fantasy. But the moment you accept, you breathe again. And from that calm, you can choose a new path. A man emailed me once. He said he spent years chasing his father's approval, trying to be the perfect son, the tough guy, the successful man. But nothing was enough. Then his father died, and the grief was heavy. But heavier was the truth. He had lived for a nod he would never receive. Then he read Epictetus, and something landed. Freedom begins when you stop begging for permission to be yourself. Living for someone else's validation is living in invisible chains. So he started talking to himself with respect, not because his dad gave it, because he decided he didn't need it anymore. That is acceptance, not approval. Release acceptance is also dropping guilt. That inner voice replaying what you should have done, what you could have avoided, what you lost. The past can't be rewritten, but it can be used as raw material, as bricks, as lessons that build character, not poison that destroys it. So take the lesson, keep the wisdom, drop the weight, because the man who accepts doesn't become weaker, he becomes lighter, and a lighter man moves forward faster, with cleaner sleep, deeper breath, sharper focus, and a mind no longer at war with what already is. And when that war ends, something unexpected happens. Space appears, not empty space, useful space, space to think clearly, space to feel without drowning, space to act without panic. Most men never feel this because they're always fighting the past, fighting other people's opinions, fighting outcomes they were never promised. And that constant resistance keeps them exhausted. Acceptance doesn't remove pain. It removes the second arrow, the unnecessary suffering you add by replaying, by resenting, by refusing reality. When you accept what is, you stop leaking energy. You stop feeding imaginary battles. You stop negotiating with ghosts. And all that energy returns to you, quietly. This is where real freedom begins. Not freedom from hardship, freedom from inner noise, freedom from the need to control everything, freedom from the urge to explain yourself to the world. You begin to live from your roots, not your reactions. And from that place, your decisions change. You choose slower, but you choose better. You speak less. But when you speak, your words carry weight. You move forward without dragging old versions of yourself behind you. This is how men become steady, not by avoiding storms, but by refusing to let storms live inside them. The Stoics trained for this, not in comfort, in repetition, in daily discipline, in small, almost invisible choices, choosing silence instead of reaction, choosing focus instead of distraction, choosing character over convenience, again and again and again. Over time, those choices compound, and something solid forms, not ego, not bravado, but presence. The kind of presence that doesn't need to announce itself. People feel it before you speak. They sense it in your posture, in your eyes, in your calm when others rush. This is what it means to be internally aligned. Your thoughts, your words, your actions pull in the same direction. No friction, no inner sabotage, just forward motion. And when setbacks come, because they will, you don't collapse. You return to what you control, to what grows you, to what grounds you. That return is a practice. Not once, daily. Because strength is not a moment, it's a habit. And habits don't need motivation. They need commitment. So if you feel tired, not in your body, but in your spirit, this is your reminder. You don't need to become someone else. You need to stop abandoning yourself every time life gets hard. Come back to your breath, to your values, to the next right action. That's enough. That's always been enough. And from here, with resistance dropped and focus restored, you're ready for the final discipline. Silence, not as emptiness, but as a shelter, a place where you can finally hear yourself. And don't underestimate how rare this state is. A mind that isn't chasing, a heart that isn't resisting, a man who isn't trying to prove himself to every passing moment. Most people live in constant reaction. They wake up reacting, they scroll reacting, they speak reacting, they sleep without ever returning to themselves. So when you begin to live differently, when you slow down where others rush, when you stay grounded where others panic, you'll notice something. The world will try to pull you back. It will test your calm. It will poke your silence. It will mistake your restraint for weakness. That's normal. That's the old pattern defending itself. But remember this, a man who is centered doesn't need permission to stay that way. You don't owe the world constant reactions. You don't owe people access to your inner space. You don't owe explanations for every choice you make in silence. Your calm is not an invitation for disruption. It's a boundary, and boundaries protect growth. This is where discipline stops feeling heavy and starts feeling clean. You wake up less cluttered. You move through the day with fewer internal debates. You finish things because your energy isn't scattered across 1,000 worries. Even when life is hard, and it will be, you're no longer adding unnecessary weight to the load. You carry what's real. You drop what's imagined, and that difference changes everything. Because clarity is not about having answers. It's about removing noise. And once the noise fades, you don't have to search for direction. It's already there. Quiet waiting, steady. This is the place Stoics return to again and again. Not once in a lifetime. Daily. In moments no one applauds. In choices no one sees. That's why their strength outlasted comfort, status, and circumstance. And it's why this path still works today. Not because the world has become easier, but because the principles haven't changed. Master what's yours. Release what isn't, return to yourself. Again and again and again. And when you're ready, when the mind has settled and resistance has dropped, there's one final place to rebuild clarity. Not in words, not in thinking, but in silence. A silence that doesn't escape life, but prepares you to meet it with full presence. When you accept something's over, you can start again. Not from nothing, from experience, from scars that taught you, from lessons that cost you. Resilience isn't just enduring, it's learning. It's adjusting after every fall. Not with anger, with purpose. Not in a rush, with direction. Because every hit that doesn't break you reveals you. It shows what you can hold and what you can release. And yes, loneliness comes with it. When you stop living for approval, some people drift away. You don't fit their mold. You don't play their old game anymore. You become harder to control. And that's part of freedom too. Being alone as your true self beats being surrounded while cut off from who you are. So the next time something doesn't go your way, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? Ask, what can I do with what I have? Don't wait for life to line up before you start living. Start now with what's here, with who you are, with what you know today. And every time you do, you'll feel something shift. Not noise, not hype. Something deeper, a root, a strength that doesn't come from the outside world, but from finally accepting you don't need to be anyone else. You just need to be fully you, even when it hurts, even when it's hard. Because in that acceptance, real transformation begins. And understand this, acceptance isn't a single decision. It's a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice. You will feel resistance. You will want to fight. You will want to force outcomes that were never yours. But every time you choose acceptance over resistance, you build resilience. You build strength, You build calm that can't be borrowed and can't be stolen. I know a man who spent half his life fighting reality. He wanted his family different, his career different, his past different. He worked hard. He pushed. He raged, and nothing changed. Not because he was lazy, because he was wrestling what already was. Then he discovered Stoicism, not as quotes, as training. He stopped fighting what he couldn't control, and he started shaping what he could. His attitude, his response, his actions, his character. And in that shift, he found freedom. Not outside, inside. He found peace. He found himself. That's the power of acceptance. It doesn't mean you give up. It means you stop wasting energy on what won't change, and you start investing in what will. Embrace silence for clarity, the shelter where you can hear yourself. There's a noise you can't hear, but it wears you down. It doesn't come from the street, or your phone, or other people. It comes from inside, a mind overloaded, chasing, fixing, solving, responding. From the second you wake up to the moment you crash, there's a constant push. Do more, know more, be more. And in that barrage, what you lose isn't time, it's direction. Without silence, everything blurs. And when everything feels the same, nothing feels meaningful. But silence isn't emptiness, it's shelter. The one place you can hear what you actually think, what you actually feel, what you actually want. Maybe you've been walking a path you didn't choose, chasing goals that aren't yours, running after wins that never fill you, because you never pause to ask the only question that matters. Is this mine? Silence forces honesty, not with violence, with clarity. Because when the outside finally quiets down, what remains is who you are. A man who watched my videos told me something once. He used to pack every minute of his day, couldn't stand downtime, not even 10 minutes of nothing, because if he wasn't busy, he felt worthless. Then one day in the middle of a panic attack, he forced himself to sit. No music, no phone, no one. 5 minutes, just 5. And in those 5 minutes, he cried, not from sadness, from truth. He realized how long he'd been running, how much noise he used to drown out what he needed to face. Now his mornings start with silence, not because it's easy, because it's necessary, because that is where he hears answers no podcast can give, no advice can replace. The Stoics didn't fear silence, they used it. Marcus Aurelius wrote alone not to show off, but to sort his mind before making decisions that shaped an empire. He knew a noisy mind isn't a free mind, it's trapped in clutter. Epictetus taught the wise don't speak out of habit, they speak out of need, because what's unsaid often holds more power than what's shouted. Silence lets you see what's worth your time, what's just distraction, what's truly yours, and what you've been chasing to impress someone else. But silence also confronts you. It surfaces hard truths. It exposes avoidance. That's why it takes courage, not to sit quietly, to sit honestly. So here's a practice. Simple, daily, real, 5 minutes of silence, no phone, no music, no input, just you. Step 1, breathe slow. Step 2, notice what rises. Don't judge it, don't chase it. Step 3, ask 3 questions. What am I avoiding? What do I actually want? What is mine to control today? Then step 4, choose one action. 1, write it down, do it immediately. That's silence used well, not as emptiness, as alignment. And over time, you'll feel the shift. Your mind becomes less reactive. Your words become fewer but heavier. Your focus becomes sharper because you're no longer living on borrowed noise. You're living from inner direction. The world won't hush for you. There will always be more news, more demands, more opinions, but you can choose not to tune in to all of them. You can create a pause, a gap, a sacred space where you return to yourself again. Because only a man who can be quiet can truly listen, and only a man who truly listens can live with purpose. Silence isn't weakness. It's a mark of inner control, of mental clarity, of real power. And now everything ties together. Think less, talk less, focus more. Not as a vibe, as a discipline. When you think less, you stop feeding chaos. When you talk less, you stop leaking energy. When you focus more, you stop wasting life on what doesn't build you. This isn't a one-time change. It's daily training. One thought observed, one impulse paused, one action chosen again and again. Until one day you notice it. You're calmer. Not because life is softer, because you are stronger. You don't need to prove anything, because you've proven it to yourself. So don't wait for perfect conditions. Use what you have. Breathe, pause, choose. If this hit home, leave one comment below. Just one word. The thing you're releasing. And if you want more training like this, subscribe to Stoic Ocean. We're not chasing hype here. We're building control. Because true strength begins when you think less, talk less, and focus more.